But I don't want the association support for my endurance and my longevity. I think that since I've been here, along with a lot of help from the men and women of the organization, my staff, we've accomplished a lot. I think for the organization, the one-class deputy sheriff was the most important thing that we did, because what it did is it recognized that the men and women in this organization are equal. It recognized that everybody works hard. And I saw the splits in other organizations that have correctional and have two-class deputy sheriffs. There's two unions. They're competing for the same dollars. You're competing for the same things, and there's a lot of split. I see it in Sonoma County. I see it in other places. But what makes it whole is that it's about people being paid equally. It's about the organization. It's about attracting people. It's about recruiting, retention. When we had the Deputy 1 system, we lost a ton of people if they couldn't get out on patrol. And so we'd send people to the academy. They'd work in the jail for a year or two. And if they couldn't get out on patrol, then they left and went to an organization, and we were just a training ground. But it also keeps us in that competitive role in this Bay Area, which is a very difficult place, to recruit. So that's why I think that's important. I think we've done, all of the people over the last several years that have worked in professional standards. I mean, I think the quality of people that we're hiring is outstanding. I think we're retaining people. People aren't leaving to go to other agencies. Now, I know that this is a little bit more difficult time, and I think the training, we have always trained more than any other organization in this county, and I think that's very important to keep people prepared and keep them trained and keep them certified. Our technological improvements, there isn't anybody in this county that has the technology that we do, and in fact, there's a number of organizations that tap in, to our records management system and CAD and those kinds of things. We dispatch for 5 agencies, and then those agencies are on our records management system along with the Nevada Police Department. And I think that's important, and we're the leaders in that area. In terms of equipment, I think we've done a lot of things to improve, the equipment, and that's still a work in progress. That's the trust account is what we're going to rely on, to continue that, because in these difficult times, getting the county to do anything, other than the baseline budget is going to be very, very difficult for us. And so I think that trust account is very important for us and very, very sacred to reserve for that. And then the organizational culture. This organization has changed, so much in the last 5 or 10 years. It's an organization that knows what its goals are, knows what's right and wrong. The vision is excellence, and it just shows when I'm out in public and the compliments that I get, about everybody. Today I've probably gotten 6 or 7 emails about the person that we arrested in Rinwood, the predator, and just people taking the time to say, hey, your folks did a great job. You got the dirt bag off the street. How could this guy ever be free? And that's just, to me, very, very heartwarming that people will take the time, because, as I always tell recruits, in a place like we're in that has a low crime rate, there's this expectation, and I never ever get compliments, from people about, you arrested this terrible guy. I get compliments about service that we provide that people just don't expect that we'll do. I've had people from fire agencies say, God, I wish you would respond to our fire calls, because San Rafael doesn't come, and when they come, they get in the way. We're in the unincorporated area. You guys are great. They're helpful, and so I think that's important. And I think people know that, and that takes a long time to develop. And what the culture does is it really holds the balance. We've never been an organization that's been in the newspaper. You can see organizations around us that are always in the newspaper. It's the culture. They're always in trouble. And I think that we've really been able to maintain that, and the professionalism and the respect from the communities that we serve. I have an excellent rapport with the Board of Supervisors. As I said, I'm on all of the internal budget committees, and I think that's really important. And with the association, who's gotten involved full-time with board members, and with my involvement, there's a deep respect, for the association, and that's how we've been able to weather, the budget problems that we've had over the years. That's how we've been able, to do more in negotiations, much to the chagrin of the county administrator and HR. And so I think that that's really important, to have that relationship. The other thing is, we brought in lots of money to the organization. The Office of Emergency Services, has brought in Homeland Security money, and since 2002 it's nearly $10 million. And law enforcement has directly benefited at least half of that, and our organization has benefited probably even half of that in our special response team, monies for search and rescue, monies for the posse, and that money will continue, and since I'm one of the voting members, I can guarantee you that we'll still be able to bring in that money. And then we talked about the trust account, and some of that. I mean, I've always been modest in my approach to the organization. This is a team effort, but I have, I'm past president of the California State Sheriff's Association. I sit on the Post Commission. I chair the Legislative Committee for State Sheriffs, and I've had a role in Sacramento, and we've been able to bring money, back to the county, which I think otherwise would not have happened. So I think that's very, very important. But just in closing, I think this is all about who's the most qualified, who cares about this organization, who cares about the history, who cares about the culture. I don't think my opponent cares about any of those things. And I've been able to weather or maneuver us through the weather and get us through these things. I'll get us through the current budget problems. I think we'll remain an effective whole organization, and I think that we'll prosper into the future. So I want to thank all of you for your time.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you.